Aditya, what's the view on HDB Financial from a perspective of whether to subscribe or not to the IPO? And what is the long-term trajectory for HDB Financial or any other company in its category? But just hang on, Aditya. Puneet, do you want to add to this question?
No, I think let's start him off with
okay,
that.
Aditya, can you?
Yeah, so I've been tracking HDB Financial for the last 3 to 5 years, ever since it was not listed as well. It's a good company. It grows at about grows its loan book at about 20%. However, NPS continue to be a problem. The whole idea continues to remain that they will lend to a category of borrowers that are below the class of HDFC Bank. So therefore, the NPS are going to be higher. The cost of funds for the company is at 7.9%, which is really very high, and then they will go and lend to class 2 borrowers. So from my perspective, it's a highly risky business. Most of their business comes from the CV and the asset financing business, which again is really dependent on the economy. They're slowly and steadily diversifying into the gold loan business and the LAP, but that will come over a period of time. That's the business of the company. NPS continue to remain a problem for the company. It's a cyclical business where during down cycles they will have a huge hit on the book, and during up cycles they will do really well. So that's on the NPS side of it. Now the biggest horse in the room is the valuation. The valuation is at about 3.7 times. Let me correct you. Trading valuation is at about 3.7 times price to book. I don't see any which way where in the near term investors can make money. If you are a long-term investor wanting to invest in the company for 5, 7, 10 years, I think you can make money, but not in the near term. If you list someone at a 3.7, 3.8 times price to book, there's always a chance of time correction happening on the stock. We've seen Bajaj Finance, likes of Bajaj Finance also undergoing a time correction, Bajaj Housing Finance undergoing a time correction. And just because it is from the HDFC group, it doesn't mean that the stock cannot go time correction. As you also pointed out, RBI has been very, very lenient with respect to liquidity. It's a great time for NBFCs, but then valuations also matter. You cannot be listing at 4 times price to book and expect the stock to double out over a period of next 2 to 3 years. So great company, incorrect valuations to make money in the near term. However, in the longer term, the company will make money. In my opinion, for the IPO, you need to avoid if you are a short-term investor. You can apply if you are a long-term.
Okay, this is interesting anchoring.
Yeah.
We're not able to hear Aditya.
Yeah.
What do you see? Yeah. Okay, any follow-ups?
I just had this one question, and I hope you haven't answered it. So it's just in terms of the valuations, and I think you might have addressed it a little bit. But how do you look at the valuations independently for HDB as well as its competition with the peers, and what should investors look forward in that aspect?
So as I said, the valuation is at about 3.7 to 3.8 times trading price to book. This is super duper expensive. Today, mind you, HDFC Bank itself is trading at about 2.1 to 2.2 times price to book. Even ICICI Bank, for that matter, trades at about 3 times price to book, which is a far superior quality franchise. Both HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank are far superior quality franchises. Of course, NBFCs will give faster growth. However, NPAs will also be larger for an NBFC as compared to a bank. So from my perspective, you cannot compare HDB, which has its asset book under asset financing, to a Bajaj Finance, where Bajaj Finance trades at extremely expensive valuation, and that also has undergone a time correction. So from my perspective, extremely expensive IPO does not leave anything in the near term on the table for investors. Maybe in the euphoria, you could have a 20-30% listing here and there. But over a longer period of time, in the near 1 or 2 years, I think that the company will undergo some time correction as Bajaj Housing Finance is undergoing, and from there on the stock will take over. So in the near term, very cautious. In the longer term, positive.
Okay. Aditya, with the presumption that our viewers are satisfied with all your answers on this, unfortunately, we can't make it a conversation, so we'll leave it at this. But thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. And viewers, remember, Aditya tracks, amongst a lot of other things, NBFCs very, very closely, or PFSI very closely. So it was great to get his response on this. Aditya, thanks for joining in. This is really nice.